Well, friends, esteemed colleagues, and distinguished guests, allow me to start up with a question, which is, how will historians in the future define the Korean Peninsula of 2018? Will it go down in history as the year marking a great turning point towards peace for the Korean Peninsula, Northeast Asia, and the world? Or will it be remembered as a year of dismal failure? Just like all of you, I'm keen to see where things go from here. At least up to this point, I believe we are in a time filled with hope for peace and not the specter of war. For the first time in history, after 7 decades of hostile relations, the leaders of the United States and North Korea sat down face to face in Singapore on June 12th. Following that, President Moon Jae-in and Chairman Kim Jong-un met for the third summit, this time in Pyongyang, and visited Mountain Baekdu, smiling and clasping hands together. Professor Paul David and Brian Arthur of Stanford University said, social phenomena follow a path dependence. Path dependence refers to the tendency of not being able to deviate from a certain path once a dependence develops, even when that path is revealed to be inefficient. I believe it is time for us to break from that path dependence of North Korea and denuclearization and Korean Peninsula peace, so that we do not repeat the mistakes of the past. That is why for this year's 중앙-Csis Forum, we are going to address the issue of peace and prosperity along with the issue of denuclearization. It is an expression of our strong desire to prevent the tragedy of war through economic development and to achieve denuclearization and peace. As I say this, I recall Nelson Mandela's magnanimous yet firm expression as he said, and I quote, "Peace is the greatest weapon for development that any person can have." Ladies and gentlemen, despite recent developments, there is no denying that North Korea's actions are somewhat lacking and disappointing. Looking at the results of the June summit between North Korea and US, President Trump seems to have made many concessions. Denuclearization, which should have had top priority, was announced as the third point, while CVID, or complete verifiable irreversible dismantlement, was left out altogether. And since then, the international community has not seen convincing actions by North Korea towards denuclearization. And so we have heard voices raised here in Seoul and Washington questioning North Korea's sincerity. The summit between President Moon and Chairman Kim held in Pyongyang on September 19th, when pessimism was running high, was like much needed rain after a long drought. First of all, there were more detailed discussions regarding denuclearization than during the first Moon-Kim summit held on April 27th, and the leaders were able to reach a more advanced agreement. Secondly, it reignited deadlocked talks for another summit between the United States and North Korea. In the face of various obstacles, President Moon tried his utmost, and Chairman Kim responded in kind. Now, we must build a momentum for the second summit between the American and North Korean heads of state. The key to the summit are meetings between Secretary Pompeo and Workers' Party Vice Chairman Kim Young-chol, as well as talks between Special Representative Biegun and Vice Foreign Minister Choi Sun-hee. Negotiators must take heed of the lessons learned from the Singapore summit in order to draw out detailed actions from North Korea. Considering the factors at play now, I believe Chairman Kim Jong-un must play a time game. He must produce tangible results while he has the trust and attention of the golden combination, that is Presidents Moon and Trump. If he misses this golden opportunity, I believe he will end up with the greatest regrets. It is time for Chairman Kim to back up his words with actions. It is time that we saw clear actions, such as North Korea giving up its intercontinental ballistic missiles or dismantling some of its nuclear weapons. That is the way to convince the international community of North Korea's good intentions. Kim Jong-un must not take the steps his father Kim Jong-il took. The late Kim Jong-il missed the chance of a lifetime 18 years ago. On October 9th, 2000, the late Chairman Kim sent his number two man, Vice Marshal Jo Myung-lok of the National Defense Commission, to Washington, D.C., with an invitation for President Bill Clinton to visit Pyongyang. The problem was this whole process of inviting the U.S. president got started too late. President Clinton's term was drawing to an end. With the U.S. presidential election set for November 7th, President Clinton was running out of time. Clinton threw himself into brokering peace between Israel and Palestine, and the trip to Pyongyang was never realized. The State Department's policy coordinator for North Korea, Wendy Sherman, has said with regret that had Chairman Kim sent Joe even a month earlier, it would have changed the course of history. What is more regrettable is that after Chairman Kim's invitations went unrealized, President Clinton's invitation for Chairman Kim to visit Washington was also turned down. I hope Chairman Kim Jong-un will not miss his timing like his father because he hesitated. Chairman Kim doesn't have much time left now. Chairman Kim has many seasoned and capable aides around him. They are ready with their own meticulous and elaborate logic and strategy, which has made it possible for Chairman Kim to claim a position of advantage. But the most important historic decisions can only be made by Chairman Kim himself. Only he alone can have the acumen of seeing beyond the logic presented by his aides to break the path dependence of the past. My dear friends, colleagues, and members of the audience, Chairman Kim is at an important crossroads, and one of the cards we can use to instill courage in him is to present a clear idea of the economic benefits of denuclearization. More than 70% of North Korean citizens are earning money from markets all around the country, and over 70% of all household income is from these markets. Through these markets, North Korean citizens have opened their eyes to the ideas of the individual. Chairman Kim may feel uneasy with the nuclear program, but if the economy fails, it will mean a certain end for him. Therefore, South Korea and the United States, along with the international community, should devise and present a plan for economic benefits and detailed ways to realize those benefits through North Korea's denuclearization. The fate of the Korean Peninsula lies in how South Korea and the United States reach common ground on the North Korean economy, which has become the fate of Chairman Kim himself. Distinguished guests, we need to take note of an important point. The principal player in North Korea's economic development is North Korea itself. The role of its leader, Chairman Kim, is crucial. South Korea and the United States are but sincere supporters. The World Bank and the Asian Development Bank all have a great interest in North Korea. And in order for global private capital enter in North Korea, the country must join the international community. For this to happen, North Korea must fulfill the requirements set by the International Monetary Fund. Only then it can join the IMF, the World Bank, and the Asian Development Bank. I see a great potential in the North Korean economy. When I visited Washington as President Moon's special envoy last year, I met Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. Rex, as you know, is from the corporate sector. But what he said then was that his friends in the corporate world were keen to explore and invest in North Korea. Another major investor, Jim Rogers, has also said that he would like to put all his money in North Korea. An exaggeration, I'm sure, but it just goes to show the level of interest out there. For global firms to invest in North Korea, Kim Jong-un must first make some bold decisions. If he does so, North Korea will be able to nurture the IT and eco-friendly auto industries, which are strategic industries Chairman Kim would like to see rapid progress in. Ladies and gentlemen, our forum today is to make sure we don't lose sight of the hope, but instead strive to plan a brighter future. Sir Winston Churchill said, "A nation which has forgotten its past can have no future." It is true. We must prepare for a better future through the lessons learned from our past failures. Fortunately, we have overcome the worst-case scenario of whether to go to war or not, and have started talking about peace. The road to denuclearization and peace will be a rough and difficult process filled with danger and temptations. This is like the journey to Ithaca in Homer's Odyssey. It could be a long and difficult road. And so I express my deepest appreciation to all of you this morning for taking this time to bring your collective wisdom together. Thank you.